Good morning, everybody. Well, this is my first video talking about what I'm going to be talking about today. I want to talk about a little boy named Tripp. Now, most of you that are watching this video probably have heard of Tripp, and that's why you clicked onto the video. But I came across Tripp Halstead's page on Facebook, and it's called Tripp Halstead Updates. For those of you who have a Facebook, of course, if you have a YouTube, you more than likely have a Facebook. You need to please go on Facebook and look up Tripp Halstead Updates and like the page, and so you can get your Tripp updates every day. Tripp Halstead is a little boy. I think he's not quite 3. He was hurt last October on his on the playground of his daycare when a tree branch fell from a tree and hit him in the head, and it basically crushed his skull and did a lot of brain damage. At one point they didn't think he was going to live, and they called the family in. There's so many pictures of this little boy. This little boy before his accident was a very, very lively little boy, very rambunctious and lively, just full of energy and robust. And now when you see his pictures and his videos, he can't speak, and he's basically just laying there staring. But I have followed the page, and I can tell in the pictures and the videos where things are progressing for him. So he is getting better. His parents, Stacy and Bill, say that the doctors still haven't said, what his progress will be, how far he'll be able to go. But with the way modern technology is today, who knows? And Tripp is still very young, and they're discovering new things in medicine every day. So I was reading on their updates the other day where he has braces on his arms and his legs now. And one thing about this is this little boy, I don't know what it was about him, it captured my heart. Now my kids are grown, but I can remember when my kids were that age. And there's just something about Tripp that when I think about what happened to him, I think, that could have been my kids when they were little. Accidents do not discriminate. An accident can happen to anybody. Some people have made rude comments, under their comments on that page. Some people can be very thoughtless. If all you have to do is say something negative and have a rude comment, just don't comment. Why comment? Why do that at all? You wouldn't want that on your page if it were your child. So, be thoughtful. Be thoughtful of others. And it's real easy to be hateful and mean when that's not your child. It could happen to your child. In the house where my kids grew up at, we were living in Virginia at the time, and there were the mountains surrounded us. But out in the main yard where they played at was just full of oak trees and pine trees and all kinds of trees. And they were huge, and they were tall, and they were beautiful. And not one time was I ever afraid that a tree branch was going to fall out and hit my kids in the head. It never dawned on me that could even happen. And so, if my kids were still little now and this had happened, I would be extremely cautious when letting my children go anywhere. At their school, I remember they used to sit under this thing called the ice cream tree. So, And since Tripp, I've heard a lot of stuff about kids getting hit in the head with tree branches. And it's so bizarre. And, and I've read about them, and I've tried to keep updated with these particular children too. But, if I miss a day or two, I might not even think about it. But with Tripp, I got to have my Tripp fix every day. I'll wait for an update on my page. When I come home from work, I hope there's an update because I know he's got doctor's appointments during the day and I like to know how he's doing. If there's not another update by the time I go to bed, and I do go to bed early because Mr. Furley hears me talking. He's back in the bar. I go to bed early because I get up early. And that's the last thing I do while I'm laying in bed. I check my Facebook, and I do look for my Tripp update. And if there's not an update on there about that little boy, then when I wake up about midnight to go to the bathroom, I'll check again. Because I just want to see how he's doing. And I can't explain it. He's just captured my heart. Very, very sad indeed about what happened to him. There's a lot of videos, well, I don't know how many, but there's some on YouTube. There's one where just a few weeks before his accident, where his dad had redecorated his room. That is a cute video. You need to go and watch that. And then some of the videos since his accident, and a lot of pictures and stuff. And he's just a real captivating little soul. And his mother, Stacy, just, you know, from some of her updates and stuff, she sort of falls apart sometimes. And that's okay. And I think she gets some negative comments on that too. But, you know, people got to understand that, yes, she's very lucky to still have her little boy with her. And she knows this. But still, you know, she's grieving the little boy that basically she lost at the same time. Because this Tripp is a different Tripp than the Tripp that she was used to. If that makes any sense. But nonetheless, he's still got the same soul and the same spirit. And he's still the same little boy. It's just his life and the life that she had planned out mentally for him was just taken away and is now completely different. And so, you know, especially when we're pregnant and stuff, we all plan out our child's future in our head. That never works out that way, but we have an idea, you know, of my child's going to do good in school, and I want this for my child, and I want my child to be interested in this and play ball. You know, you got all that in your head. And then, in about 5 years, I'm going to have cheerleading practice go to, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. We all do that. And then, but to have all that taken away at one time, and, you know, now all of a sudden you have a special needs child, the path that you've been walking down has completely changed. It washed away. You got to hop over on the next one. And I'm sure it's very hard for them from time to time. So, I sympathize with Stacy and with Bill. Stacy is now a stay-at-home mom, and I don't blame her for that because he needs her very much. And I'm just concerned a little bit about when he starts getting bigger, and it may be a little bit too much, you know, for her as one person to have to put him in a van or whatever. So I believe they take donations on their page for Tripp. He's, you know, he may need something like a live-in nurse or maybe a live-in nanny, you know, something like that. That's really going to be a big help. So, you know, don't know how they're going to work it out, but I'm sure I'm going to find out, because unless they take that page down or block me, I'm going to see every day what's going on with little Tripp-a-doodle. So if you haven't gone to his page already, please go there and please keep up with his updates. And please show the love for little Tripp. Until next time, bye-bye.